Alright guys, so today we're going to graph, we're just going to practice graphing now that we've practiced converting things into y equals. We're going to graph, so be sure you have a ruler. It's going to be really important for your homework. Here we go. So we're going to start off in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, and this is already given to us in slope-intercept form. So we're going to graph. We need to find the m, and we need to identify the b. The m is 1/4, the b is -3. So remember, we always start with the b, so I'm going to put a dot at -3, 1, 2, -3, and then I'm going to go up 1 over 4, up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's enough to draw my line. I could go down 1 over 4, but yeah, so I'm just going to connect my two dots, and I'm going to write that there. Okay, so then we have point slope form. We haven't really talked about point slope form, but we can go ahead and graph point slope form. So point slope form is y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. We're not going to worry about that. We just want to see like how we could graph this. So we're going to get y by itself. So I'm going to distribute this -2. So I have y minus 3 equals -2x minus 2, and then I need to add 3. I'm going to add 3, so I get y equals -2x plus 1. So my m is -2, my b is 1, so it's -2 over 1, so I'm going to start at 1. I'm going to go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. I want to go the other way too, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to connect my dots. There we go. Yay. So the last form is called standard form, and standard form is ax plus by equals c. But I'm going to graph all of these the same way. So I want to convert this into y equals. So I'm going to subtract 3x, and I'm going to subtract 3x. So I have excuse me, -2y equals 6 minus 3x. And then I'm going to divide every single piece by -2. So I have y equals -3 plus 3 over 2x, and then I'm going to rearrange it. 3 over 2x minus 3. I have my m, I have my b. I'm going to start at -3, -1, -2, -3. I'm going to go up 3 over 2, up 3 over 2. And connect my dots. Alright, sometimes we have equations, or we have lines that are just horizontal and that they are just vertical. So horizontal, side to side, and sometimes we have vertical lines. Now these are a little bit more easier, I want to say. So I'm going to show you an easy way on how to remember your horizontal and your vertical lines in their equations, because they also have equations. So for horizontal, we have an acronym that's called HOY. So we're going to H-O-Y. And for vertical lines, we call those VUX. So this is HOY, VUX. The H in HOY stands for horizontal. So all horizontal lines have a 0 slope and their equations are y equals, which means they cross the y-axis. Okay. Now all vertical lines, up and down, have an undefined slope and their equations are actually going to be x equals. They cross the x-axis. So let's do an example. For example, if I had y equals 4. Okay. Well, there's not an x, so it's not y equals mx plus b form. So since it's just a y in the equation, we're going to call this problem hoi. So I know that I'm going to have a horizontal line. So on my y-axis, I'm going to put a dot at 4. And I'm going to draw a horizontal line right there, so side to side. And I could easily identify the slope of this line. The slope of this line is 0. 0 slope. So let's do another one. What if I gave you x equals -6? There's no y in the equation, so that's going to be a vux. It only has an x, so I'm going to have a vertical line. On my x-axis, I'm going to put a dot at -6, and on that line, on that dot, I'm going to draw a vertical line. And this has a slope of undefined. So let's do another one. Let's say I have y equals -2. So we have to decide, is it hoi or is it vux? Well, since it has the y, it's going to be a hoi. So on my y-axis at -2, I'm going to draw a horizontal line. Okay? So I'm going to give you some equations for you to practice. X equals 0. So that's a vux. On my x-axis, I'm going to put a dot at 0, and I'm going to draw a vertical line. And the slope of that is undefined. Alright, you're going to do x equals 4, and y equals -6. Okay, and then when you glue these in your journal, you're going to put this one here and this one here. They should be side by side. Remember, I'm checking your journal next week. Okay, guys?